I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news. Live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. You saw the thumbnail. You saw what's going on in the community tab. Y'all know what we're here to talk about. The power rankings. And hey, we just got to talk about these power rankings. But before we get into that, I want to say, isn't it interesting that Zach Lowe has been released from ESPN? I know y'all want to call that karma and all this and that. We should never wish anyone loses their job. But I do find the timing very interesting, to say the least. And I think most of Bucks Nation, aka friends and family, do as well. Stop talking reckless about our team and won't nothing bad happen to you. How about that? Also, shout out to Khris Livingston. He had a little bit of a growth spurt. So he's 6'7.5" now. So that's dope. Hey, I think things are trending in the right direction for our Milwaukee Bucks. I really do. I think this pressure that's on them make them step up. I think that they're going to rise to the occasion. I also want us to discuss the condition that it looks like Dame and Giannis are in. They look like they're in pristine condition currently. They both look like they've lost weight. They both look lean and ready to go. And I think both players have a lot to prove. People are saying that Giannis is probably on the other side of his prime. They're saying Dame is washed. So I think both players have a lot to prove to show the NBA that they're still elite, and also show friends and family that we're still a championship caliber team. Salute the friends and family. As y'all pop in here, if y'all can just hit the like button, is much appreciated. It helps stray Bucks fans find their true home, and that's right here with the number one Bucks podcast on YouTube, along with the number one Bucks chat on YouTube. Salute to the people. What's good? Let me see who's in the building early. We got the homie Gibson Nicholas, straight out of the Bahamas. Salute. What up? What up, Luke? Good to see you, bro. Brawl Stars, what's good? Brandon, King Carter, what's good? Humble One, what's good? The homie Matt, good to see you. Jimmy Roller, my dude, what's good? Sal Cali, what's good? My homie Pass, shout out to Jersey. What up, Pass? Oliver Story, what's good? Mr. Washington, what's good? The homie RJ back straight out of the United Kingdom. What's good, sir? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. So, hey, let me get to this. I want to get to a few comments, and then we're gonna look at those rankings. And just to keep things, so everybody understands, the ranking for the Bucks in July for this upcoming season is 8th, I believe. No, yeah, 8th, I believe. Now, they're projecting what I posted in the community tab is a projection over the next 3 years. And over the next 3 years, they see the Bucks being ranked 15th. I still don't agree with that. I actually don't agree with us being 8th with our roster, to keep it real. I think some of that was taken into consideration before we got Gary Trent. Because to me, we have one of the best rosters in the NBA, if you ask me. Y'all let me know what y'all think, friends and family. Again, a couple of these comments, and then we're going to go over the numbers here. My boy Gibson says salute to the president. What up? What up? Appreciate you, bro. My boy Luke said go Bucks go and fear the deer. And Khris Livingston is growing. He should be playing more than 6 minutes. He definitely will be getting some PT this year. No worries. No worries. Brawl Stars, what's good? Said love from Nashville. Shout out to Cashville, Tennessee. What's good? Appreciate you tapping in. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, bro. Appreciate you. Luke said salute to Gibson Nicholas and Brandon, King Carter, and Jim. What up? What up? My boy Brandon said go Bucks, go fear the deer. Absolutely. He shouted out Jimmy Roller. Absolutely. My boy Humble One said Bucks Nation. We in the building. We gonna chop it up for a little bit. Homie Matt said salute. Salute, Matt. My man Jimmy Roller. I know he gonna be roasting somebody in a minute. Shout out to Jimmy Roller. Sal Cali says Zach Lowe got laid off. I call that you can. It's unfortunate though. You don't never want to see anybody lose their job, but it's just ironic and how fast that happened after the Bucks slander. My boy Matt says salute, peace, and love the Bucks Nation. Absolutely. My homie Paz says salute the Bucks Nation. Absolutely. Oliver said, here come the humor, the great debate, the passion of Bucks friends and family. I'm so excited. Facts. What up, Oliver? What's good, bro? Hey, that was funny, right, Matt? He funny for that. Past that ESPN is dying every year is just clickbait. Loud analysts. There's a reason why Perk is on their faces. Facts. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all aren't paying attention, YouTube is the new cable channel. Everyone is getting their content from YouTube. If I'm looking for sports content, I'm searching on YouTube. I am not watching ESPN because I feel that they have a narrative and they're jaded and they're not going to give you unfiltered content. That's why you come to YouTube. That's why when you want to talk about Bucks, you come here. You're not going to ESPN. That's all theater and theatrics. This is the straight raw right here. Unfiltered. And that's why we here. Yes, ESPN is dying off. All of that's dying off. YouTube is the new TV. That's just what it is. That's why I'm on here. That's why millions of others are on here. When y'all searching and y'all looking for content, how often are y'all flipping the TV to go to a channel unless you're watching a sporting event? Everything else is YouTube. This is the future. This is the future. ESPN better get it together and get rolled on. That's just what it is. Pay attention to your market. Don't end up like Blockbuster. Don't end up like Blockbuster, ESPN, or BlackBerry. Pay attention to your environment. Mr. Washington said, Mortimer, we're back. Good evening. Shout out to you for that reference. That should be Trading Places, right? Mr. Washington, that should be Trading Places. My boy RJ back says, salute Bucks Nation and AM. Salute. My boy, Daniel Orton, aka Bleacher Report Boss. What's good? What up, chat? Hey, what up, Bleacher Report Boss? Appreciate you sending me some of that info since it was behind the paywall. So salute to you, bro. Let me see if I can get that information pass. Because it was on Twitter. I'm gonna see what I can do. But it's the usual. They had like Oklahoma City, Denver, Minnesota, Dallas, Lakers, and I can't remember. It might even be Memphis. My boy Midnight Newton is in the chat. What's good, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you. Check out my boy Midnight Newton channel. $2,000 Uber a week. Ain't that right, Midnight Newton? I think that's what it is, right, bro? Let me know in the chat. Jimmy Roller said we have a better team now than we did when we won a chip. And that's what's crazy about all this. That's what's absolutely crazy. Jonathan Porter, what's good? 1,000 bottles of boy. Come on, bro. Moving on. I don't know what to say, fam. Midnight News said who's going to have a breakout season, Russell or Ben Simmons? I don't think Ben Simmons can play basketball anymore. I think you have to go with Russell. Ben Simmons, I think, is really done. I really think he's done, bro. The homie D Gibbs in the building. What's good? What up, everyone? Yeah, rest in peace, Joe Wolf. Rest in peace, Joe Wolf. Bleacher Report boss said ESPN is unwatchable at this point. Facts. Facts. Yep, rest in peace, Joe Wolf. Absolutely, Matt. Hey, we here. We here. And don't worry, we gonna definitely turn up too when the regular season starting preseason. We here though. Salute to my boy Matt. Pat said, once Disney bought ESPN, has been trash. The hate on player gimmick gets old quick. That's what I'm saying. It's too many narratives. It doesn't. It's unwatchable. Like y'all were saying, it's totally unwatchable. I completely agree. Now we gonna get into these rankings real quick. Let me make sure I got this set up right. There we go. So we're actually ranked 15th currently, and you can see our individual rankings. So previously we were ranked 6th, now we're 15th, and a lot of that is because of another first round exit. You can see for players ranking, we're 9th, which is pretty high. Management 16. Money, obviously, we spend a lot, 26. Market 17. Draft 27. How do y'all feel about those rankings before we get into it? And then let me just read what they say. After a second consecutive first round loss, and the Milwaukee Bucks tumbled 9 spots in the rankings ahead of Damian Lillard's second season with the team. With the roster aging, only the LA Clippers were older last season when weighted by minutes played and few draft picks to trade. Milwaukee has to hope for better chemistry with coach Doc Rivers returning for a full season. Even the Bucks do bounce back. Hefty luxury tax bills could affect their willingness to resign starting center Brook Lopez next season. So how do y'all feel about that analysis? I'm gonna wait to see some comments. I see that like something like I might have been mistaken, but I feel like it was the Lakers though. Pass real talk. So how do y'all feel about that analysis of the Bucks? How do y'all feel about that from 6th to 15th? Mr. Cool said CBS Sports named Giannis as top player in the Eastern Conference. That's fair. Yeah, he should be. Gibson said, Bucks Nation, Khris Livingston is looking great for the Bucks. Facts. RJ Back said Junior Bridgman has joined ownership. That's great news. Salute to that. Gibson said salute to Mr. Cool and Jeff Riley. Absolutely. See what Brandon got to say. This is one of the best Bucks YouTube channels that I like more than my bro Am. Let's go. We are going to turn up this season. Facts. Appreciate it. Bleacher Report boss said, I don't like this ranking at all, but can you be mad after we failed the last 2 seasons, early exit, the turmoil that we've had on this team? You can't expect to be given respect. You have to earn respect. So the Bucks were given respect when we got Dame. Then we lost it again when we got put out in the first round. Regardless of injuries or any other stuff that was going on, we got put out in the first round. So we got slapped. We got slapped on the hand like, nah, y'all ain't on the big boy table right now. Y'all got to show us that you deserve to be there. And that's what the Bucks have to do this year. In my opinion, we have to show that we deserve to be at the big boy table. You just don't get gifted to be at the big boy table. You got to earn it. Then that means you got to go deep in the playoffs. You got to play well in the regular season. You need to beat quality opponents. And that's just what it is. So, I mean, you guys could be mad at this ranking, but can you really? We've got put out the last 2 years in the first round. The roster is better, definitely. But I think the Bucks need to show and prove that the roster is better. Not just, you know what I'm saying, on paper. We need to see it in actual action. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand the frustration, though. What up, Dr. Smith? What's good? We just talking about the Bucks ranking. We're 15th right now, and last year we were 6th. But again, as we talked about last live, we were disappointing last year. So you can't be rewarded for being a disappointment, regardless if you did upgrade the talent. It has to show and prove that this is actually a talent upgrade before you can be rewarded for that. That's what it feels like to me. But 15 seems low, even with the bad season since 22. I could maybe see it if it was 12, but being up the Rockets is ridiculous. They're going. That's youth, though. You feel me, Pass? They're up. It's because of the age of the roster. That's why we also are tumble. We have mostly 30-year-old plus players, besides a couple young bucks. We are an older team. So they're definitely going to think the younger teams are going to take a leap forward, like Orlando, like Houston, even Cleveland to an extent. They're expecting these teams to take a leap. New York Knicks to take a leap, and they're assuming that the teams with older rosters are going to take a step back unless they can show something different. That's just what it is. And we do have an old roster. This old roster got to show they not old, and they still got some left in the tank. Because to keep it real, our big 3 is what we got for the next 2-3 years. They locked in. They locked in. My boy Dr. Smith said, I feel what you're saying. Yeah, it's just what it is. We just have to get our respect this year. And I feel like this team is putting themselves in a position to get their respect. And what do I mean by that? Players are putting in the pain. I'm seeing Dame put it in the pain. I'm seeing Giannis put in the pain. I'm seeing the young gunners put in the Dobermans, as Mr. Cool likes to call them. I like that, Mr. Cool. The young Dobermans is putting in the pain. You have to put in the work to get the desired result. And I don't know if last year the Bucks put in the work to get the desired result. But we definitely see a intensity change with the Milwaukee Bucks from this year or from last year to this year. I expect a 360 difference on this team from with the basketball that we saw last year to this year. Guaranteed. I fully feel confident. And then there's no excuse for this team this year. You have all the bulletin board material in the world to be motivated to come out here and hoop, especially Dame. It's been a target on your back since you got here, bro. It is time, and you had a disappointing year for your standards. You have to redeem yourself. People aren't even calling you a superstar no more or elite. If that's not a slap in the face, I don't know what is. Time to go get your respect. Khris Middleton, it's time for you to stay healthy, sir. That's period. It's time. We just need to be healthy. Us healthy, everything is different in the NBA. If the Bucks are healthy, everybody's seating is a lot different with the Bucks being healthy. Because like I said, our big three is better than anybody else's big three in the NBA when healthy. Can't nobody mess with us, with our big three. And if you look at the numbers say so. You don't got to listen to me. You can Google the numbers. Our big three is more efficient than any other big three in the NBA, and it's not close. It's not even close. So, yes, we're old, but we get buckets. We know what we're doing. When healthy, we're going to get you up out of there. And now with the addition of Gary Trent and people like that, the Bucks are very formidable. And I think the NBA is going to find it out the hard way. They going to find it the harder way, like Penny. You know what I'm saying? The harder way. Yeah, let's go. This is all motivation. This is all motivation. Shout out to Monolondo. I see you in the chat. Who is this? Johnny VV, what's good? Oh yeah, I believe they're gonna be unstoppable too. Absolutely. I think Dame has a point to prove, and I think he gonna start. Hey, I think he's gonna John Wick a lot of these point guards that y'all was talking crazy about. He gonna John Wick Brunson, John Wick Halliburton. He gonna John Wick all these cats. I'm telling you, he's coming to get buckets. Once I saw that man working with David Goggins, I already knew what it was. That means now it's personal. When you go get somebody like David Goggins to go, work out with and talk to, that means whatever you're on, you're trying to take it to the fullest extent. You're trying to take it to the fullest extent. I guarantee you Dame goes in. And also, from the community tab, just to pivot briefly, now we can forever stop the talks of Dame doesn't want to be here. The vice president went into detail into the YouTube video I posted in the community tab of Dame's involvement in this trade. So that's dead now too. So all narratives, negative narratives about Dame are officially dead. So now we can move forward with this Bucks team knowing everyone wants to actually be on this roster. Everyone has the goal of winning a championship. And you can see now by the work that the players are putting in that they want to win a championship. You can see it now. Last year, I didn't see it. I felt like it was just a fog and haze over this team all last season, and we just couldn't get right. Now it seems this year, I think we got the eye of the tiger. Dead serious. I think we got the eye of the tiger, and we're going to come and catch some bodies this year. Watch what I tell you. You can't just let all this negativity coming towards you. You have to bug up. Bucks gotta bug up. Y'all, hey, chin up, chest out, Bucks. It's time. The people have been waiting long enough. Friends and family have been waiting long enough to see you return back to glory and be back in the championship where this team belongs. Giannis needs another championship to elevate him on the all-time list. Giannis gets another chip, he's top 15 all time. Yeah, let me repeat myself. Giannis Antetokounmpo wins another championship, he's top 15 all time. Am I lying? Am I lying? Top 15. Hey, Dr. Smith said Dave need to tell him you tried to steal the wrong radio this time. Right? Facts. Facts. Oh, what up, Jeff Riley? What's good? Shout out to the OC, my dude. But I'm telling y'all, we about to get it in this year. I really feel that way. And let me just go through these the top 30 teams here, and then I'm gonna get it open the lines here. So number one rated, Oklahoma City Thunder, and I think that's valid. Players, management, money, because they're all under rookie contracts for the most part, so that makes sense. Boston also makes sense, but look where they are in money. Boston has about another year or two max of a window, and then they're going to disintegrate. 30th in money, 30th. But the number 2 rank I feel is warranted. Now this is where I draw the line right here. The Knicks, number 3. What? This is insane. And why is their management tied for fourth? What has the Knicks management done over the last 30 years? This is what I'm saying about the narratives in ESPN, man. Now you trying to push the Knicks because they got a couple of players that they are now a top 5 team in the NBA. This is why we don't watch ESPN. Just because of foolishness like this right here. The audacity of ESPN to post this. The audacity to think to try to push this on the public that the Knicks are number 3. The Knickerbockers? The Philadelphia 76ers are 4th. How, Sway? How? Just because they got a Paul George? Paul George? A man that never shows up in the playoffs and he's also Khris Middleton, often injured. The disrespect continues. I'm not going to even dignify this with no response. Y'all know that this is ridiculous. Dallas at 5, I can respect that. I can respect Dallas at 5. I don't really have qualms here. You went to the championship, you rebooted your roster. I have no qualms here. I don't have a problem with Denver at 6. That I feel like that's reasonable. They also are coming into money issues, as you can see though as well. How can we take you seriously, ESPN, when you post something like this? How can we take your content seriously when you post this? The Rockets at number 7 is wild. 7 is wild. Chat, chat, talk to me. Who is running the show over there? Man, they need to hire the chat. We need to help ESPN. This is insanity. Number 7, the Rockets? Did y'all even have an all-star last year? The Rockets? So the Bucks aren't better than the Golden State Warriors? So the Bucks are not better than the Golden State Warriors. Is insane. They have one player, Steph Curry. That's it. They have nothing else. Yet they're better than the Bucks. Y'all got it, ESPN. Y'all got it. Spurs, I can respect that because they're heading the right direction. Probably have the best play, one of the top 5 best players in the NBA. I can respect this. I don't have any qualms with Orlando being at 11 either. I think they're an up and coming team. I think that's fair. Yeah, Golden State at 9 is laughable, bro. Like that's insane. And the Grizzlies at 12, I don't have a problem with either. Cleveland 13, I think that's about right. With their roster, their players, 13 is about right for me with them. Damn, that's real disrespect. They put the Pacers above us. Damn, they just be slapping us all in our face, knocking our books out our hands, throwing us in the locker, huh? Damn, the disrespect. 14 actually for the Pacers, I think is reasonable. I think that's reasonable. And then the Bucks at 15. Crazy. That still seems crazy. Pelicans 16. Who cares? Miami 17. That makes sense. Sacramento 18. I feel like they should be higher. I think Sacramento's getting slided too on here. You with the addition of DeRozan and Malik Monk still, and you got De'Aaron Fox and you got Sabonis, they should be higher. They definitely should be hired. Damn, this water good. I definitely think Sacramento with their roster should be higher. Phoenix, this is fair. They're old. They're actually washed. Besides KD and Booker, Bradley Beal washed. They don't have no talent on that roster. That makes sense. Clippers at 20 makes sense. They're pretty much done. Lakers, yep, 21. See, now this is fair. Now some of these are fair. The Lakers ain't going nowhere. Toronto at 22 makes complete sense. Atlanta, all the bottom feeders are coming up now. Yeah. Y'all ain't about to do nothing. All bottom feeders. Brooklyn, Washington, Detroit, Blazers. Damn, they 30, the Blazers. I think that's earned, though. I think that's earned. So what y'all think about the list, Bucks Nation? What's good? See what's up in the chat. I think you just saw, hey bottom feeder. Bottom feeder, Mount Orlando. They some bottom feeders. The Heat are being a bit disrespected, but hey, we getting disrespected, so if they get disrespected, I think that's fair barter. Yeah, King should be around 10, Bleach Report boss. I agree. 18 is kind of ridiculous. 15 is wild. Mr. Cool said I saw an article on how hard Dame is working. Some of these guards are going to feel. That's what I was saying. Dame is about to come in and put in work, y'all. He's about to come put in work. Man, my barber about to put in some work tomorrow too. I look crazy on here, but it's all good. The Bucks got all the motivation in the world. All the motivation in the world to make this thing crack. I like I said, I think we're gonna come out the gates fast. Fast. I think we're gonna come out like I can see at the first 20 games, 15-5, 16-4, something like that. I expect nothing less from this team. Nothing less. Let me put the link in the chat. I realize I was already talking for like a half hour. Let me put the link in the chat. Let's chop it up, friends and family. Let's chop it up. Let me know what y'all think. Yo, Jimmy, I knew you was coming for somebody. The list is on par with Stephen A. Smith hairline. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith, bro, he need to go over to Turkey and spend that 10-15 to reestablish himself. If you know, you know. He need to go over to Turkey. Stat. Yeah, that's looking crazy. And shame on his wife or significant other for not telling him to go over to Turkey. Because his hairline look crazy. It look crazy. He can't even, no enhancements can help that. He needs to go to Turkey, spend the 15. I know you got it. And go ahead and get that Mayweather work. Let me tap in a legend here. Let me tap in the homie here. There we go. There we go. Hey, if you've ever watched this podcast, you know this gentleman. To me, to my right, Dr. Smith, a legend, always dropping jewels on Bucks and Packers. And now we about to tap into homie Pass. And we about to get this thing going. What up? What up? We got the homie Pass from New Jersey. Hey, we got
What's up?
Hey, Dr. Smith coming out of there from the Noya down there in New Orleans. What's going on, gentlemen? Let's start with Dr. Smith, then we will go to Pass. Tell me how y'all feel about the rankings. You think it's fair? What do y'all think?
No,
Go ahead.
Of course not. The disrespect, the blatant chef's kiss disrespect. 15, you out your and author of it, Tim Bontemps. I watch his show. Right, it's not him by himself. He's on there with two other sports writers. So I watch it every now and then. But I get what's happening, right? And we've said this before, right? You know what I mean? Last year when we got Dame, before a ball was even bounced, we had the best odds
to win the championship,
right? Us and the Celtics, before we'd even proven that we can, that Damian and Giannis can coexist and whatnot. So the failure of last season, we knew this. We said this already, was going to create a gross overreaction. Like the pendulum was going to swing too far. in the other direction. And then if people wanted that respect, like you said, they're gonna have to go and earn it. 15 is ridiculous though, but I get it because we've also been recipients of premature praise before in the past. So you could say the Knicks right now, who lost Hartenstein, and I know this because the rest of my family are Knicks fans. Their starting center is now pulling a Khris Middleton. He's injured. He won't be available until December or January, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, never mind the Bucks. Leave the Bucks out of it. How are you going to expect to deal with someone like a Joel Embiid or the bigger team or a Celtics and what?
Jokic. 1
You know what I'm
second.
saying?
Even Indiana. 1 second. Let me get my boy Monalando super chat. Hold on 1 sec. My boy Monalando, appreciate the $10 super chat. I'm convinced that the media does not watch Bucks games. They go based off of telling we was the second seed with the craziness, but we made it to 6 games without our best players.
But here's what I feel, Monalando. You could tell me if you agree, Passamino. So this is what I think. I think that right now, all of the basketball media coverage is starting to ramp up, right? A lot of these guys are finally going to have ammunition to write about, right? You know what I mean? It's been hard for them in the dark ages, waiting for, basketball to start up again, right? And so you need something to spice it up, and you need something to grab attention. Everyone is going to be doing their rankings. And if all of the rankings sound the same, then what is actually making you different from everybody else? So I know what I can do. Let me go and make a rankings that has the Golden State Warriors, a team like higher than the Bucks. I know what can make it. You know what I mean? Like what can grab attention. The Knicks at what they put them at, number 3.
They're 3.
And it grabs attention. Mission accomplished. Because you're never actually going to have to pay. There's no penalty for saying something stupid in the press.
That's true. Fair point.
Right? You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to lose your job if somebody comes back and says, remember that article you wrote where you had the Golden State Warriors in the top 10, whatever, how stupid do you feel? You're fired. That's never going to happen. There's no penalty.
Right, for talking reckless. Right.
Exactly. The goal is to get people to read your article, right? And so if we're reading and we're talking about it, then Tim Bontemps' mission accomplished, right? The Bucks have to go out. And like I said, you have to start telling people, you try to steal the wrong radio this time. You try to break in the wrong house this time. Like, you have to adopt that mentality because you've lost it.
Right.
You've lost it with the way everyone and their mother knows how talented this team is. But you got to show it. How you feel, Pass? How you feel about that?
That's pretty much what it is. It's just clickbait. That's all it is.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that list and you showed me that the Warriors are number 9, I'm like, okay, yeah, they're doing this on purpose. There's no way they believe this. They do not believe this stuff.
Just the Knicks being at 3 is a slap in the face to the NBA. 3?
No, that one I'll pass because like they did make good moves. I'll give that one a pass. 4, I'm like 4. I was like a little hesitant on, like a little bullish on that, but okay. Then you go down. You keep going down. You see 9. You see the Warriors. All they have is Steph. There is nothing.
What about
there
Houston
that's
at 7? What about Houston at 7?
Houston
the whole
7.
List.
I get it to a degree. Like, okay, the team's young. They have draft capital. They have all this stuff. At the same time, they have no one who's even a top 20 player.
They don't have an all-star.
The best player is Sengun, and he's like he's okay. He's baby Jokic is what people say, but like even then, he's not even close to him. He's maybe like a third of Jokic.
Right.
Like,
my question would be this: I get that people are not feeling the Bucks, and for a lot of people outside of the Bucks fan base, they got the whack juice on them. I get it. I've been here before. I feel it, right?
Right.
My question is this, and someone actually pointed this out in another Bucks chat. A lot of the sins that people are mad at the Bucks for are not the Philadelphia 76ers guilty of the same sins?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
History is a problem. When has Joel Embiid been healthy throughout a year? If
2021 was the year he was healthy. He was healthy in 21.
Right. If dysfunction is not a problem or is a problem, then when was the last time people thought that Joel Embiid was fully motivated throughout a year? Isn't motivation a problem for him? Isn't he always whining about the MVP award and more focused on that than actually?
Correct.
Isn't that like, hasn't that been like a problem for them? Tyrese Maxey was finally a good running partner for him because up until that point, they hadn't found a consistent running partner.
Right.
The MO on the 76ers has become what they are condemning Milwaukee for, which is that you're a really good regular season team.
Correct. And then fizzle in the playoffs.
Right. If that's what they're saying about the Bucks, if the Bucks are getting docked points for that, then why aren't the 76ers being docked points for that? Because they just got Paul George. Did you know that Paul George is older than Damian Lillard?
Yes, he's 34, and almost 35. Yeah.
Paul George older than Dame.
He doesn't have the injury
history.
Embiid's
older than Giannis.
Right. Or he doesn't have the injury history. Are you sure about that? Are we talking about the same Paul George?
Right.
Wasn't he injured like all? So and this is what I'm saying. If I took the article seriously, but the point of the article is to not actually be thought-provoking. The point of the article is to grab your attention.
But you got to understand this, though, too, though. I don't think y'all know this part. That's on ESPN+. You have to pay to have access to that list. So you can't even call it clickbait.
This. So you have to pay for clickbait.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to call... They thought about this and still put it out because it's behind a paywall. That's not even on regular ESPN. So that's what's concerning. This is behind a paywall.
I think the lines that they thought along was, again, how can we make... If everyone came out with really thought-provoking analysis, right? Eventually, if it's just about stats and facts, then everyone eventually is going to have the same opinion, right? Because eventually there is a best team, there is a worst team, right? And so if everyone were arguing along those same lines, you're eventually all going to come out with the same argument.
Right? That's true.
Theoretically, no team should be number one but Boston until proven otherwise. Boston won the championship, right? Boston won the championship. They didn't take any steps backwards. The only thing that I would say was when I saw the article that you were putting up, they were listing all of the different things like management, salaries, right? So is he judging them as an entire franchise? Like these are all the things that they have going for them?
Yeah, correct. It's judging the entire franchise, which is why they're breaking it down into those sections.
What I remember is being, I remember it being like a 3-year sample size, right?
Yeah,
so they're judging 3 years into the future. So they're judging till 2028, I guess, if you're considering 2025.
And that does change it, theoretically. If you're trying to have like an intelligent conversation because guys are so old, right? You know what I mean? But if you're just talking about what teams are going to do this year. So in that regard, then yes, I would say moving forward, then Oklahoma City Thunder should be number one. Because
the problem is that still doesn't count the question of, hey, why is Golden State in top 10?
Yeah,
it still doesn't answer the question.
That work. You can't. Somebody said the Houston because they got the best coach in the NBA, arguably, and they had a good run second half. I still don't think that's enough for 7. 7 is that's a lot.
Ime's a good coach. He's a defensive coach. He's not an offensive coach. He's
best
coach in basketball has always been in Miami. He's been there for forever.
Exactly.
He's not moving.
Spoelstra, facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
Spot on. Eric Spoelstra has been the best coach in basketball.
It's Spoelstra and Pop. That's it.
Yep.
Everyone else does not matter. You could argue Nurse. You could argue Tibbs. I'm hesitant yet because they don't just have the resume, but like you could argue them. But for sure, I'm putting for sure Spoelstra number 1.
Yep, absolutely. Anything with coaching, I'm including Spoelstra. For sure.
Well, he's easily number 1 for me, right? I would say Minnesota's coach is up there for like.
They're good too. Denver's coach is also pretty good too.
Yeah, Denver. He's a little emotional though. Denver coach get a little too emotional for me for it. Cause
honestly, I'm kind of reconsidering the Denver thing because like, is it because the coach is good or is because Jokic is that good? Because you look at the team, like the team isn't that good on paper.
I don't know about that. They're solid. You got Gordon. You know what I'm saying? What's the point guard name?
The thing is, like, if you take them individually, I'm talking about individually, like you take the players, right? There's nothing special about them. You put them next to Jokic, yes, they look great. There is nothing else. If you put them on other teams, they have not done as well. Jamal Murray looked like non-existent in the Olympics. He was no one.
So there's a couple things with that, right? I don't know if I could take his performance in the Olympics as the true representation of his skill after an entire season of playing basketball, right? And the fact that he hadn't played with Canada as much as he plays with the Nuggets. I think anytime you see that, like a marriage of coach and player, if you're asking me why is a team successful, is it the coach or is it the player, my answer is always going to be yes for both. This is very much the Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers thing, right?
Yeah.
I think very beginning, Aaron Rodgers was brilliant, obviously, but they have to create an offense for Aaron Rodgers to flourish in. Look at the Jets. The Jets, I'm not saying are bad, but they don't look anything like they did, or Aaron Rodgers doesn't look anything like he did when he was in Green Bay. Now, obviously, he's also older now at this point and whatnot, but I think it takes an intelligent mind to be able to marry that type of skill and put it into a system that allows for that system to flourish. The year that Denver won, that was one of the best, tactic-wise, the best displays of basketball that I had seen, because that was an invincible pick and roll.
Yeah, it was invincible, right? It was. You couldn't stop. They were just spamming it. They just kept spamming it. You couldn't do nothing.
Honestly, if I was Doc, take notes from that.
Right, exactly.
Right. And all different ways, because there's like 10 different ways that I was seeing this two-man game, which has to be frustrating. And every so often, just to keep you honest, another guy, like they would dish out to a three-point shooter and bomb on you. That's all coaching too, right? So that's not just the brilliance of Jokic. A lot of it is. Jokic is unbelievable. I do believe he's the best player in the game. But the coach is definitely up there. For me, any team that has like a good marriage of offense and defense. So I gotta give Dallas props right now, because where did they come from? As invincible as Minnesota looked, Dallas beat them. That was, you know what I mean? And it wasn't just the brilliance of Kyrie and Luka. It was getting those two people on the same page, because
but the others were stepping up too. The Lively, all these people, they were stepping up.
Absolutely.
So, Dallas is more well-rounded.
Yeah, there you go. Dallas
they're more well-rounded compared to Minnesota. Minnesota's heavy on defense.
Right.
Their offensive talent is pretty much just two guys, and everyone else just moves out the way. Cat was very.
I think they figured out a way to take advantage of Rudy Gobert. It was good. It was watching the Western Conference Finals was like a good exercise in coaching. Just period. I think it was. What's up, man? What's happening, Daniel? What's going on?
My problem is where was this?
I watched the game.
Okay, it's all good.
I want to know something though. Where was this when he was our coach?
Well, Jason Kidd.
Can you tell me where was this when he was our coach?
But that's what you learn over time. That same with Belichick. Cleveland could say, why wasn't Belichick when he got the Cleveland job? Sometimes
I understand Giannis. I understand it's 2017, 2018. You're a young team. I understand that. We couldn't do a little bit better.
No, but you gotta. He created Giannis though. He created the Giannis that we see now is because of Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is who had Giannis have the ball at the top of the key. That's what he created MVP Giannis. I will always give Jason Kidd his credit. He created the MVP version of Giannis. That's all Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd said,
I'd give it 25% Jason Kidd. I think I don't think it would matter what coach it was. I think Giannis would have been Giannis no matter what. His worth ethic just proves it. If he had a different coach, I think he would have been fine. Maybe accelerated it faster.
There we go. You gotta give him some credit.
It may have accelerated faster, but he would have. He's shown this stuff before. If he went to a different team, I feel like he would have been fine. Doesn't matter what team he went to. He still would have been the same person. Same player.
Did you see what Mark Cuban said? He was on Shay Shay, and they was talking about well, you could have Giannis in 2012. And I'm laughing. I'm like, you still would have passed him because you said in the interview you only see 2 videos of him.
Right.
And VHS tape. So stop the cap, man. He wasn't gonna get him.
I mean, there's two teams who wanted him. It was us and the Raptors. I know for sure.
Atlanta.
Atlanta wanted him to.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Atlanta,
How about
they repeatedly said they wanted him, but Milwaukee, they were trying to trade in front of him, but they couldn't do it. So it was Atlanta. The guy the guy that was from Toronto, he's the guy that wanted him.
Yeah, that's his type of style players. That's
Right.
I figured he wanted that because like that's why he drafted guys like Pascal. That's the
Yeah,
type of player he always
that was
wants.
his dad. A poor man's Giannis. Poor man's Giannis.
He tried
how
trading
about
up
this?
too.
Consider this. Then I would say you can't teach the work ethic that Giannis has. That's not something. It's just something that you either have or you don't, right? Because Giannis came in the league. I think he was about as heavy as like my right shoulder, right?
Right.
Like he did not look physically
$170, $180 soaking wet with boots on, right?
Right. He looked like a victim just waiting to happen, right? And then now the way that he victimizes people, that's all hard work. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And shaping himself, not just getting bigger and stronger, but getting bigger and stronger in the way that he wanted to play basketball. That much is all Giannis. The effort, but the direction, I think, that Giannis goes. Giannis has got an unstoppable Euro step, an unstoppable drive to the rim that I think was perfected by having and handling the ball. And that was something because of Jason Kidd. Most people would have put Giannis as a small forward or straight into the post.
He created the point forward for Giannis.
He did definitely, in terms of his passing and all that stuff, he definitely helped him out a lot there. That helps.
Yeah.
They say Jason Kidd is has one of the highest basketball IQs in basketball history. They say he's like a savant, like an Einstein or something out there. Like they always give him credit.
That's true, but like that doesn't mean you're gonna be a good coach though. We can use that same proof with Steve Nash. Steve Nash is a great player,
but that was his first opportunity. We'll have to see when he gets a second opportunity how he
ain't getting. I don't think he'll ever get another job after what happened. He ain't getting another job.
Yeah, he's been through some really wild stuff. Yeah, shout out to Steve Nash. Wish you the best, bro.
None of that's his fault,
right?
But that's just how it goes.
It's also the management of men too, right? Coaching is, I think, a big part of it is tactics and drawing up plays on a whiteboard and whatnot. But getting people to follow you, getting people to buy into what it is you're saying, being able to convey a message, right? Being a good teacher, right? Being able to communicate in a way that I get it because I'm a basketball genius, right? But a lot of people, you've seen this problem happen over and over again. They used to say this was Larry Bird's problem when he tried to coach, right? Is that he could understand perfectly what it is that needed to be done and explain it. But you now have to explain it to people who don't have the same level of basketball IQ that you do.
Okay, so that's fair.
That could also
this message from me to you. You know what I mean? And so I think it could possibly be that in the very beginning, Jason Kidd has to go through all of that. It's one thing being a floor general. I still think he is top 5, top 3 point guard I've ever seen. I think Steph Curry is officially number 1 for me.
Right.
I would say Magic Johnson's number 2. I would put Jason Kidd at number 3. For
That's
me
fair.
personally.
Over IT?
He's brilliant. Over who?
Over IT.
Isaiah Thomas, yes.
Oh, okay. That's
over Isaiah Thomas, yes. For me, for my money.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
I get it. I can't do it. Yeah, I'm with Am here. I can't do it. But he is top 5 for me.
He's top 5. He's 4 or 5. I can't put none of these dudes over Zeke unless it's Steph and Magic. That's the only people I could put over Zeke. That's just me personally.
Who else played for the Nets? When they went to the championship, the finals, 3 times. Who played for the Nets?
Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, and Keith Van Horn.
Van Horn, man. Oh my God.
I'll help you out. Kerry Kittles.
Oh yeah, Kerry Kittles, Villanova.
Aaron Smith. Who else made the All-Star team on that squad?
Maybe Kenyon. Maybe.
No.
Okay.
Nobody.
None of them. None of them. Who else deserved? If we were debating, who else deserved to be on the All-Star team? I like Kenyon Martin, but you think Kenyon Martin makes the All-Star team outside of the Flash? Jason Kidd took that squad to the finals 3 straight times. 3 straight times. Who else was on the Pistons when Isaiah Thomas was running the show?
Joe Dumars, Rodman,
First
Adrian
ballot Hall of
Dantley.
Famer.
Adrian Dantley.
Is Adrian Dantley not in the Hall of Fame? Who else is on the squad? We keep going.
Oh yeah, Bill.
We
We
keep
got
going.
Rick Mahorn.
I'll give you a clue. He used to coach in the WNBA.
Rick
Used to throw people
Mahorn.
around a
Yeah,
lot.
Rick Mahorn.
Is he not in the Hall of Fame? He might be. I
Bill
don't know.
Lambier. Yeah, they had a
Is
squad,
Bill
but
Lambier in the
everybody
Hall
had
of
a
Fame?
squad back then. They weren't the only ones though. Magic had a
Hall of
squad.
Famous. Hall of Famous to a
I
team
mean,
that had
that
no
team is
All-Stars.
known as the Bad Boy Pistons. You have your own nickname for a decade. It's not, for that whole section, you have your own nickname.
I take nothing from Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is
Well, what about his
absolutely
size though? Being like 5'10", 5'11", dropping
He's
20
brilliant.
and 10.
He's brilliant. He was the Allen Iverson before Allen Iverson for me.
Agreed.
He's
Okay.
brilliant. He's brilliant.
Wait,
So me thinking that
I think we're
Jason
mixing
Kidd is
up.
better. I'm sorry. Say again.
I think IT is definitely not 5'10". What are you on about?
Is he?
No, but
You're thinking about Celtics
listed,
IT.
Yeah, he's 6'1", maybe 6'1" at most.
Yeah, he's definitely tall.
But the way that he played,
right? The way he played, yeah.
Right, Allen Iverson would just recklessly throw himself in there, get the foul, get super damaged or whatever. I used to feel the same thing about Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, mid-range. He's a brilliant basketball player. Don't get me wrong. Me saying that I think Jason Kidd is better, but I just look at what Jason Kidd did with lesser talent. Jason Kidd was the ultimate orchestrator. Like, he is the ultimate composer. He used to throw people open. You would not be open when he made the pass.
Right.
You'd be open when you caught the pass. And that's
so where do you put Steve Nash then? Where do you put Steve Nash?
I would say Isaiah Thomas is right behind Jason Kidd, and I would say Steve Nash is right behind that.
I'm
not mad at that. But then people talk about Big O and all of that, and I don't know where he
Robinson.
I'll be honest. I was not born at that time. I'm not putting any of these players past the 80s. I just can't do it because I've never watched them.
Right.
If I watched them, it's a different story.
It's strictly on accolades, right? Any man who averages a triple double for an entire season is obviously going to be in the conversation, right?
Right. But you got to put Russ up there. You could go down the rabbit hole with this because you got to put Russ up there. Multiple seasons of triple.
Westbrook?
Yeah.
I mean,
multiple seasons of triple doubles
for a short time.
That 1 year is a huge peak though, because he also had an MVP the same year.
Right.
2 years, but he averaged a triple double for 2 years. Russell Westbrook.
Right. Yep. 2 or 3 years. Yep.
Look at how he pulled against Kevin Durant on the Thunder, and to me, you get dock points. You get dock points for how you've been since, because there's a lot of years now that Russell Westbrook has looked cheeks. And now it's to the point where I put him in the category of you had a moment in time and then went downhill fairly quickly. Jason Kidd was that dude almost. He wasn't New Jersey Nets Jason Kidd his entire career. But Jason Kidd won his championship in just when he was knocking on the door leaving the league for the Mavericks. And he wasn't an also-ran. Like, he was a major contributing member on that team. He's so brilliant. He's such a brilliant basketball player. It's gonna be hard for me to. I mean, you gotta put.
That's fair. We might have to do another line just talking about some random stuff like that. We gonna pivot back to the Bucks, but I think we got something here. We gonna figure something out. I think just to have these type of debates is very interesting, like top 10 debate, because you can start throwing people in there. Because one of my personal favorite point guards, a lot of people don't talk about. I got 2 that's always on my list. One is Penny Hardaway. The other one is Gary Payton. Those are some of my 2 favorite point guards right there. Because GP gonna give you the defense and he gonna give you the offense. GP is different. Go ahead, Bleacher Report, boss.
I would say my personal favorite was Sam Cassell. Even when he was with the Rockets. I started watching basketball 93, 94. And, I wasn't a Bucks fan until a couple years after that, but it was like watching the Rockets just dismantle the Magics that year, 94, when Kareem Olajuwon was just doing this thing, just gliding and doing it. I'm like, man, I never seen a bigger man just do that.
You know who Sam Cassell was? Sam Cassell's career was kind of like Big Shot before Big Shot. You know what I'm saying? As far as Chauncey Billups. Him and Chauncey Billups had like similar type of careers. You get what I'm saying? The stats don't show you how impactful they were, but if you watch, they hit all the big shots. They were a part of all the key moments. You know what I'm saying? So I think that speaks volumes. And
Like
that's
Bobby
why I'm
Orr.
saying, that's why I also like this to pivot to the Bucks, back to the Bucks. That's why I have so much confidence in it, because we have two legitimate superstars. And then we have two people that are true clutch performers in Middleton and Dame. So I feel so confident in tight games with the Bucks, as long as we're not turning the ball over, because we got elite scorers down the stretch there. And don't sleep on Giannis. Giannis will get you a bucket if you need it. But I saw my last second shot. How many people do you
Man,
want besides Dame and Middleton? Keeping it real.
bro,
How many other people? Steph.
You know my mind was
Honestly,
that. Remember I'd say it was Game 4 against the Pacers, and Chris Miller kept hitting those clutch threes.
Yeah, that's what he do though. That's
Man,
his
Yeah,
Middleton.
I mean,
That's what makes you
he
so
was
mad
invincible.
about Middleton.
he always has that one game. It's always in the first round for some reason.
He just
It's
go
always
eight.
first round. It's always first round.
you know, and I mean, considering Green Bay and Chunk, so go over there one day. But they had like TVs on other side, so it was a delay. So when Middleton met the shot, you hear like, oh, like what's going on? All of a sudden,
Right.
you see Middleton take the shot. You're like, oh, here we go.
But
I'm
that's
like,
what he does, though. Middleton is clutch. You say what you want about Middleton's injury history, turnovers,
Yeah,
all of that. But if it's a clutch shot, it's very few other players in the NBA that I want to have the ball besides Khris Middleton. And I'm just
it was
keeping it a
crazy.
buck.
the thing
Middleton,
is,
Crazy.
he got the
Because
receipts, but Middleton got the receipts. He been
I
doing
mean,
this for about 7 years. I remember in the old arena when he cooked Boston and did the same thing. Damn near the same
that
shot.
we lost.
Middleton
We
Atlanta,
does
lost.
this, bro. Middleton is no joke in the playoffs.
It was
Atlanta.
no. It actually was the
real
exact same
quick.
spot. I think
It was the exact
they're
same
doing a
spot.
back to back, same
Yeah.
results too, which is the worst part.
Atlanta.
Go
Middleton,
ahead, Bleach Report,
he
boy.
got to remind himself that he is him. Like, that's one thing I get mad at Middleton. You're him. Just do it. Just get in there. Like,
Yeah,
you're
just play
him.
the game. Just get in and play. That's what
I
we
mean,
do. We
What's
just need
crazy,
you to
right?
play.
the problem is
What's
we only
crazy
see
is
this.
that. Go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
pass,
Go
and then
ahead.
you go, Dr. Smith. Go ahead, pass.
Yeah. The problem is we only see this Middleton during playoffs. We don't see this during the regular season.
Man.
That's the reason why most people have issues with him. It's not because of playoffs. It's always because of regular season.
It is. I'll say in the playoffs, if you were ranking playoff players, Middleton would be all NBA first or second team in the playoffs. No joke.
But see, here's my thing with that, right? And I'm glad you said that, pass, right? This is why I do love Middleton, watching him so much when he is on the court, right? Middleton is the ultimate. I will give you what you need in this moment, right? So at the time when we lost Giannis and Dame for the playoffs, Middleton said, "Hold my beer." And it ultimately didn't work because we lost, and unfortunately he didn't have enough support. But it certainly wasn't because of him. It was all I kept hearing was, he's not the hero that we wanted. He's the hero that we deserve. Like, this guy was out there just as injured as some of the people who didn't come out on the court, but he came out on the court. You know what I mean? And was out there hitting miraculous shots. Now,
right.
Now, when Dame and Giannis are on the court, then the bat signal is not going to be in the sky, and he's like, you know what? There's only one ball, right? And I don't want to crowd. I don't want to, clog up the bandwidth and whatnot. So I will be the one to step back. To me, the sacrifice in that is understated. Like you can't. You know what I mean? You can't underestimate how much of a sacrifice it is, because the two of them, Dame and Giannis, had a hard time figuring out how to play around one another, because they'd always been the alpha dog in the previous situations that they've been. I have no doubt that they're not arrogant and big and egocentric and whatnot, and that was the problem. It's just, how do I become good?
Guys, internet right there. It was an interview with Jeff T, and he was talking to Giannis, and Giannis said to T that Giannis said to Dame, "Look, tell me to give me the effing, like, just tell you, like, Giannis told Dame, tell Dame, like, yeah, if you need the ball, like, sometimes I'll go. So Dame had to be the guy to tell Giannis to give me the ball.
Yeah. I remember the interview in that same one. That's what Jeff Teague was talking about. That's all I had to say to give him the ball.
Yeah,
Jeff Teague.
we're not
Don't
comparing
even
you,
get me back
Jeff
down
Teague,
that path, right?
to Dame.
We don't need to go back down that hallway.
Right.
That was
Dang.
my moments on this channel, right? But Jeff Teague pop.
It's a good watch though, honestly.
Right,
Go
yeah,
watch
I
it. Go
agree.
watch it's funny at least.
Right.
It's good. It's good entertainment.
But my point is that they still had to figure that out, right? That's why I appreciate players like Khris Middleton, Kevin Durant, and whatnot. Their game just blends so seamlessly with other people because they're so good at understanding what's required in this moment, right? You know, sometimes you need someone to be assertive and to take control, right? To be the one who speaks out and speaks in front of a crowd of people. Sometimes you got to get people who know when to step back and just let everyone else speak and let the power of the moment take you to wherever it is you got to go, right? Knowing he's the perfect composer, right? I can't just come and force my style of music on everyone, right? He knows how to play to different crowds. And as frustrated as I was with the strategy of Khris Middleton, wrapping him up seemingly in cotton and bubble wrap and you never play in back-to-back games and all the different things that we did to preserve him for the playoffs, which meant that there were a lot of regular season games where we were looking at his wardrobe rather than looking at him in uniform. I can't argue that it was a tactic that worked because at the end of the season, when everyone else was broken down as far as our key contributors, he was out there. When other people that we wanted to step forward, the Bobby Portises of the world, and Bobby Portis was off doing his normal playoff disappearance thing. Khris Middleton was out there hitting game clutch shots and whatnot on one ankle. So I will always respect Khris on this team. You know what I mean? Tremendous IQ.
Agreed.
Tremendous
Mr.
IQ.
Cool said the best on the team, and I agree.
IQ wise, yeah, for sure.
I would have to. He's definitely he knows how to run the pick and roll with Giannis and with Brooke.
He does it with everyone, honestly.
Yeah.
It's also how it helps with how he plays as well too, because he needs no space at all to shoot. The pick and roll, I think that's also another reason why Giannis is terrible at setting picks. He's still used to setting it for Khris, who needs no space.
That's true.
You do such soft screens with him for like what? You've been with Khris since like 20, for like what? Was it been like 10 years almost?
Right.
You get used to that, and you have to get it out of your mind because it's muscle memory at that point.
And Dame is a much smaller player than Middleton, so he needs a proper screen, just like Steph needs a proper screen.
They also play like two completely different styles. Khris is much slower, but he picks his spots perfectly. Dame will shoot as far as he can.
Right.
Dame blitzes. He lulls you to sleep, right? And so like he has like a style of basketball where he'll lull you to sleep, and then as soon as you overcommit just 1 foot, he's blitzed past you, and he's going past you, and he's brilliant at either getting to the rim or drawing, or used to be at drawing the foul until they decided that
he can't get fouls anymore, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. And so it was like so that will be the question: is whether can Dame adjust his game to how it's being called and still be
great point, Shaquille,
and still be as effective, right? Because what I don't want to see is another season of Dame screaming at the refs when the ball is already on the other end because you're not getting the fouls that they're not giving you. They're not giving it to you. They're not giving it to Trae Young. They're not giving it to James Harden. They're not giving it to all the people.
Yeah, he blacklisted for whatever reason.
It's league wide. No, it was league wide. I was watching other games too. Right. Every single team was having this issue. Even players, same thing. It wasn't just players. Everyone, even players that you expect to not get who expect to get a lot of calls that you like big men. Even they weren't getting calls. It's just I think it was just a thing that they changed all of a sudden.
It's a flow of the game. They want the game to go faster. They're tired of these foul calls and stopping and going.
And want the pace, increase pace.
They do that, and then
I'm sorry.
They added a new thing where you can review during timeouts if there's a foul. It's gonna make the game even longer again now.
Yeah.
It's like, let's say I think there was a play of, I remember which was. It was probably the Mavericks one where someone got pushed. I think it was during the Mavericks versus Minnesota. Someone's team, someone got pushed, right? That would have been called, but because it's after the play, they didn't do anything about it. So they can review that and be like, okay, that's a foul now. So that's what that could actually help for us too.
One thing I don't get.
Good.
When I see Dame getting smacked side of the head like a pimp old man, I mean like a girl old pimp some money, there's something wrong with that. Like I see he's getting slapped in the head. I'm like, you gotta call that. Come on.
I do think there were like people who were tearing the backside out of it as far as foul grifting is concerned, right? But these are not basketball plays. People jumping diagonally into other players, legs out and whatnot. And so I think that because of the very obvious foul grifters, to me, the worst offender, in my opinion, was Trae Young. He was the worst offender as far as that is concerned, right? And so anyone got put in that category, they were saying we're cracking down on all of this. Anything that looks like people are not making natural basketball plays, we're not going to reward this anymore. You're going to have to learn how to play straight up basketball. It was Trae Young, and I'm saying Trae Young, and I almost forgot about James Harden. James Harden was the absolute worst when it came.
James Harden, Trae Young, Embiid does it. Embiid's the worst. Honestly, to me,
Embiid.
Look, those guys are at least you can excuse because they're guards, they're shorter. Embiid, you're 7 feet tall. Why are you flopping on every single play?
And begging for fouls, and so and that part of it to me honestly does get tiresome. No jokes, right? And so Damian Lillard got put in that category, and once you have that attention on you, it's just like football, right? If you are an offensive lineman who's constantly holding, right? Maybe the ref doesn't see it as much as you're actually doing it, but all it takes is for a coach to draw the attention, the ref's attention to it.
One second, Dr. Smith. So Shalom Man said you can only call for a review if it's called on your own team.
Yeah, that's the new rule, I think.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Dr. Smith. Just want to make sure we got clarification on the rule.
So what I was saying was once you get like the stigma, once you get like the branded in a certain way, then people are going to call certain things for you in that way, right? You know what I mean? And so once Damian got labeled as a foul grifter, then people, just to prove a point, they're not going to call fouls in the way that they used to call them before. And that's fine. Just be consistent, and that's fine. Because now the name of the game is adjustments. What are you going to do to adjust to stay as effective? You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for as far as this season is the adjustment. Can Giannis, with his skill set, can he make a way or take, I don't know if it's him taking a step back, or can the two of them coexist? Can these guys learn to coexist in a complementary way where Giannis is still Giannis, Dame is still Dame? They're not doing it where it's like my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, where they have like this perfect synergy and they bring out the best in each other. Or is it going to have to be a my turn, your turn, where they limit the amount of possessions where these guys are on the court at the same time? Giannis leads his own set of guys when he's out on the court. Damian has another set of guys when they're out on the court. I think that would be, I don't want to see that personally.
That can work,
you have to play like that. You know what I mean? But
I mean, that can work, but it doesn't work as well as you should be doing. You could do that, because the Mavericks did do that a little bit with Kyrie and Luka, since they do play very similarly. But those two players play similarly. Giannis and Dame do not. You have to learn how to play together sooner or later.
For sure. You know what I mean? I definitely. And it's incorrect to think of basketball as like line ships, right? Where I'm coming out with this group of guys all the time. You're going to be on the court with that group of guys all the time. It's about adjustments, right? And so there's going to be different matchups, different combinations of players to match, or it should be anyway, if Doc is a good coach. You're going to have different combinations of players to match the situation that we're in, right? So it's not going to be a one-size-fits-all approach to sports. But you'd be surprised how many coaches go with that. We were just talking about football, right? That was our previous defensive coordinator's problem. One size fits all. Didn't matter what team we were playing. We always had the same approach. no matter what. Now we got a defensive coordinator who actually knows how to play the game of chess using the
I know how
players that he
that's
has.
like. I know how that's
You know
like.
what I mean?
Yeah.
My
And we're
team has been
hoping
garbage
that
for how long?
who's
I
your team?
cannot deal with these Giants fan. I cannot deal with the Giants, man. This team's garbage. It's like I cannot deal
The
with this
Giants
team
gave us
anymore.
Xavier McKinney, who's like our
We,
best defender right now.
Right.
You got.
we,
Thank
We
you,
just need
thank you,
our
brother.
linebackers instead. Sorry, the Packers just need some linebackers. That's it. We straight.
our coaches are idiots, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
They
I
let
feel
go
you.
of it.
I feel
He's the
you.
best in football. Oh, that's gotta
Yeah, I
sting.
feel you. Let's do a round robin. Then I'm gonna swap some people out here. We gonna get
For
into it.
sure.
But let's start. Let's start with Bleacher Report boss. Go to pass, and we'll end with Dr. Smith. Bleacher Report boss, on you.
All right. So first of all, the list was just kind of garbage, but at the same time, we understand that the Bucks don't have that much time of an open window right now, or championship windows. The Bucks got to do their thing this year. I believe in Giannis. I believe in Dame, Giannis. I believe in Joe Henry too.
Okay, yeah.
But overall, this is dead serious. The Bucks got to understand they have to play better basketball and have to prove to the world that Damian Giannis can work, and it will work. And I think that if they don't, then that's on the coach. Coach gonna have to go.
Facts.
I mean,
that's it. Simple.
Exactly.
On you, pass. Yeah, on you, pass.
So what we were talking about with the Giannis and Dame thing. So far, what I've seen is every single player is at the training camp except for Giannis. I have not seen any single videos on him. I saw Khris there, which is a good sign for us.
Right.
The fact that Khris is there and he's wearing training gear. He was not wearing his street clothes. Great sign. He's actually wearing his training gear. So
That's awesome.
hopefully, it's caustically optimistic. I'm sort of concerned, but not fully. I think they'll be fine. The one thing I can guarantee this year is that Dame will have a bounce back year.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's a guarantee.
He hasn't earned a jersey for me yet. This year is what he's gonna have to earn me buying a jersey. He gotta earn.
He looks skinnier. He was playing very well. Honestly, his points were not the problem. It's just his efficiency. Right. If he gets more efficient, he'll be fine. So that's pretty much all I have to say.
On you, Dr. Smith.
So I would ask real quick, just building off of what Pass was saying, right? It was my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was my understanding that training camp doesn't officially start for the Bucks until the 2nd, October 2nd.
Yeah, it doesn't officially start, but there was video out about like on Dame's thing, and I think it's not training camp. I don't know what they're there for, but they are training in the Bucks thing. I think it's for media day.
Right, media day itself isn't even until Sunday itself. I think people are just kind of reporting to the building and getting around and refamiliarizing themselves.
I still haven't seen Giannis there, so I'm still a little worried. Surprised he's not back yet.
I'm not gonna worry about it because I know he's a hard worker.
I'm sure it's not about him specifically. It's about him with Dame is what I'm more concerned about.
Fair.
Well, for me, like I said, the media day again isn't even until the 29th, until Sunday, because I wanted to be front and center to see how many people they even made available for media day. They don't make everyone available for media day. In fact,
that's true. Yeah,
notorious for keeping it to like a select few guys and whatnot. And then I would looked at the training camp schedule because the first game is 2 days later. So training camp starts on the 2nd. The first preseason game is on the 4th. Basketball is weird like that. But I just think, to what I was going to say, the overwhelming, I wouldn't say negativity, but people just jumping off the boat is to the Bucks' favor, right? If this is even something that they care about, if they are players who still need that type of motivation, then you have it in spades. You have it in spades, right? There was some article where people were talking about Damian's ranking as a number 2 option in the league, and I think he was 15th.
He was 15. Oh yeah, he was underneath Pascal. He was underneath someone else. It's
that should be motivation right there.
Thank you for doing that. I want to piss off.
Keep the hate going. I'm with you.
So that list was also garbage. Maxey was even on that list. That's how I know the list is garbage.
So like I've said in other things, we can feel all we want about it. My days of playing basketball are over like 10, 15 years ago. I never made it to the league, right? You know what I mean? You got to do something about it. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about the fact that whomever makes these hypothetical lists or whatever thinks that there are 14 number 2 options that are better than you at this point, Damian? Like, well, how do you feel about the fact that people are starting to question Giannis's basketball IQ because he can't, or they seemingly can't make it work with Damian? Or you just put your head down and run toward the basket, and you know what I mean? People don't even consider Khris Middleton anymore because of how much he's injured and all that. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
No, yeah, the
We
run
can
and
get mad all we want, but what are you going to do about it? Your first game this year is against the 76ers. You should be Birdman, like you say, Birdman.
Hey,
I can't
it should
wait.
be nothing
Come
but
out
hand
here.
rubs.
Yes,
Should be nothing but hand
I
rubs.
can't wait. Come on out here. Come on out here. You know what I mean? You can't run. You can't hide. You're going to have to take this issue. I'm not going to chase you around the car. I'm not going to chase you around the building. You're going to have to come out to the playground. At some point, you're going to have to see me. You're going to have to see me. And that's how the Bucks should feel about everyone this year.
Facts.
They got the Knicks higher than the Bucks, and the Knicks don't even have a center right now. Come on. They don't even have a center, and they got the Knicks higher than the Bucks.
All right.
Come on, man.
Both the Knicks and Boston are both injured right now. Both their centers are injured. Their starting centers are both injured.
Right, exactly. So
they're both coming till mid-season. They're not going to be here till like December.
We got a chance to make a run while these cats is hurt. We need to make a run. We need to make a run early in the first half of the season.
But you know how I feel. I say if it were up to me, pause the season and wait until you get healthy. I don't want any excuses, right? I want you 100% healthy. Everybody got something to say about the Bucks. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Bud Crawford, that's fine.
You know what Dame should be saying? Instead of saying Dame time, he like, I got time today. I got time. That's what I'm saying. I got time now. Like, you guys talking. Like, I got time.
That Dame time is global. I be seeing soccer players doing that, hitting clutch goals now. I think I saw like Messi and Ronaldo do it. I'm like, oh man, hey, make these people proud for using your ad lib, Dame. Come on, man.
That's right.
Come on, Dame. It's a thing, bro. Make these people proud, bro. It's a thing. Come on, man.
Make them believe again. But that's
right. Like make them believe. Appreciate y'all tapping in. No, I'm gonna get in this comment section, and y'all, and we go live after the next Packer game too, y'all. All right, y'all.
Oh, for sure, against Minnesota, for sure.
Right. All right, gentlemen. All right, pass. All right, Mr. Smith, and then Bleach Report boss. We tap in the homie here, the Bahamas legend. What's good,
bro? Salute. Peace and love to Bucks Nation. Salute. Amber, what's good? Salute to the chat.
What's
Salute
good?
To the whole.
I want to make sure you tap in before I get up out of here and say yo peace. Go ahead, put the apron on and the chef hat. Do what you do, sir.
Salute to the city of Wisconsin, the beautiful city of Wisconsin. Salute to everyone down there on that side. Salute to Pasamendo, Pronte, everybody in the chat. I just want to say a few things before we go off. The thing which is bothering me that the media like to drag the Milwaukee Bucks to the mud. They like to use the Bucks name to ride, run, and drag it. But other teams would play so bad all season long, would never win a championship. They will never criticize them. They will never talk bad about them. I feel that we are being disrespected this year. I hope Dame, Giannis, Khris Middleton, and everybody on this team take notice, please. The season is about to start pretty soon. Come in the training camp, really motivated. Every game you play and every team you play, we need for you to make statements.
Right, revenge tour.
Make statements, make example out of team. A team like the Indiana Pacers, that's the first team you make a statement. You beat that team, you beat them so bad until you beat the brakes off them. You make a statement. You end the round early. You ain't giving them no chance. By the third quarter, Giannis should be on the bench. That's how bad you gotta beat them.
Right.
And then you finish do that, you send a message to Philadelphia. You beat them bad to show Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and Paul George that chemistry don't come overnight. You gotta take at least.
They got to
It
put in
ain't
the
good.
paint. Tell them, Gibson, they got to
So
put in the paint.
it ain't good wait with with New York, Mikal Bridges, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart. It won't work. You got to put in the chemistry. Got to build. It's not going to just happen just like that. With Boston, you have to understand every team in the league is building to beat you. The Milwaukee Bucks are built to beat Boston. All it is, if the teams could play better, everybody on the same page, they communicate right, we could beat that team. Giannis, please cut down the turnovers. Just have that low. We need everybody to be focused this year. Come with a mindset to say, okay, that the last two playoff exit was a disappointment. This year we have number one, Indiana on our mind. Number two, we got to get payback on Boston. And I pray they put Al Horford out of retirement. Retire him. I mean it. Retire that man. Giannis, when he elbow you in your face, I say, man, that couldn't be in me, Amber. That could never be in me. That could have never been me. When he hit me in my face, I think I was going to stay down there. Never. So you need to get back there. Doc Rivers, please. This is your last chance. You might don't have a coaching job anymore, so take advantage of the opportunity you have.
Well said. Well said.
Opportunities only come around once. We don't know, and Milwaukee, the whole team, please, this is our last chance. If we don't win this year, I hate to say it, the team is going to get break up. They will break up that team. So
Agreed.
we have to try to come out and be motivated. Put egos to the side. If them could be the ball handler, Giannis
What up,
don't have no
AB?
problem. Let him lead. Let him lead, and he feeds you. You don't need to be playing point guard. That's what you get Damian Lillard for. You get guys on this team now to help you so you do not injure yourself, so you don't have to be sitting out when the playoff come again. You have to be sitting out again. No, Middleton, if you know you cannot be playing full time, let Doc Rivers know you don't be ashamed to take a 6-man role. Manager nobody did it on the Spurs. So it's all about sacrificing for the team to win this championship.
Hey,
It's all
Matt, that
about
should be a
sacrifice.
pay-per-view. Gibson versus Al Horford should be pay-per-view. Go ahead, Gibson.
Yeah, man. I tell you, Amber, I know he from the Dominican Republic. I understand that, but I don't like him. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan
There
of
we
him at
go.
all.
There we go. Right. No
I
tribalism.
to
There
be,
we go,
to be
Gibson.
honest, I don't like Boston at all. I don't know why the Milwaukee Bucks just don't change their jersey. I do not like Boston, period. I don't like them at all. I hate that team. I don't and beat them. The last time they beat them by 30, this year I want Milwaukee to beat them by 60 points. Let it be the first team in NBA history to beat a team by 60 points. And we know, Amber, Zach Lowe, I feel sorry for you. You spit on this team. You see what
He
happened. You
did
talk to
spit on
you talk to I feel sorry for you. That should have been Stephen A. Smith, all those other clowns down there at ESPN running that comedy show network down there talking about the city of Wisconsin. They don't know that city is a beautiful city. It looked nice. Downtown Milwaukee is very beautiful. Man, that Bradley Center, I watched that game when they played in that Bradley Center. Pfizer Farm is the best arena than half of some of the other teams
Oh
arena.
yeah,
So
absolutely. No, Five-Star Forum is legit.
why
Five-Star
is
is
the
done.
hate? Why the hate? The only thing I want Milwaukee to do if we could get our Cream City jerseys back. That's what I
There we
like. The
go.
Cream
Okay,
City.
there we go. My man. My man.
All
All right,
right.
send us home,
So
Gibson. Send us home, Gibson.
peace and love to everybody. Peace and love, blessing and respect. Put God first in everything that we do. Let's pray that the team stay healthy to come to the season so we could hang this banner and Pfizer form.
All right, my man Gibson, peace. All right, Gibson. Shout out to Gibson. Shout out to the Bahamas. Shout out to your homie too, Teron. I know he tap in a lot. Shout out to Teron. All right, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic, Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition, where we just got done discussing the ESPN ranking of the Milwaukee Bucks, which was a ridiculous 15. So we just recapped our thoughts and what we expect for the Bucks this upcoming year. Also, all the motivation that the Bucks should have to perform on a very high clip this year. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Share the content. We are the #1 source for Bucks news. This is the #1 Bucks chat on YouTube. This is the #1 Bucks podcast on YouTube. Don't be fooled by the imitators. This is where you get the live, raw, uncut Bucks content here, and you can actually tap in and give your point of view as well. So I appreciate friends and family tapping in. Bucks Nation, comment, like, subscribe, share the electrifying content. Go.